There was a moment, just one moment, that reportedly left Prince Harry staring at his phone in complete silence. No cameras. No royal aides. No speeches. Just a screen and a result he wasn't expecting. At first it was supposed to be a joke. A casual thing. Something almost everyone seems to be doing these days. A DNA kit, a laugh, a little curiosity. But what came back from that test, according to whispers now swirling through royal circles, may have opened a door Harry never wanted to walk through. And if that's true, then 3 questions suddenly become impossible to ignore. Why did he take the test in the first place? Why did it end in tears? And what exactly did Meghan Markle know before he did? Because what happened next didn't look like a joke anymore. It started quietly. Harry had reportedly been spending more time reflecting lately, looking backward, not forward. Family history. Genetics. His mother, Princess Diana. His father, King Charles III. Even old conversations about ancestry and heritage. Friends close to him say he'd become fascinated by lineage. Maybe it was age. Maybe it was fatherhood. Or maybe something had already been bothering him. That's the part nobody can agree on. Because while some say the DNA test was random, others claim there had been strange comments for months. Little things. Questions about resemblance. Timing. Family traits. Nothing loud enough to start a fire. But enough to leave smoke. And smoke has a way of making people look closer. At first, Harry reportedly laughed about it. Imagine that. A prince mailing off his saliva like everyone else. Waiting for percentages. Maybe hopping for a surprising Viking connection or some forgotten branch of nobility. But then the results arrived. And according to one source, he stopped smiling. Not because of where he came from, but because of what the report allegedly connected. Or rather, what it didn't. For hours nobody heard from him. That's unusual. Especially for someone whose schedule is usually mapped down to the minute. Then came the calls. Not to his staff. Not to the palace. To Meghan. And those close to the couple say it wasn't calm. It wasn't planned. It was emotional. Harry was crying. Not angry. Not yet. Just shattered. And here where everything gets complicated. Because the DNA kit wasn't designed to prove paternity. That's important. It was an ancestry test. But hidden inside the data, family matches, genetic markers, relational estimates, was apparently enough to raise a terrifying possibility. A possibility Harry couldn't ignore. At first, Meghan reportedly dismissed it. Said the science could be wrong. Said ancestry kits are messy. Imperfect. And she wasn't wrong. They are. But Harry, sources claim, wasn't hearing logic anymore. He was hearing doubt. And doubt is dangerous. Especially when your entire life has been built under public scrutiny. Remember, this is a man who spent years hearing rumors about his own father. Years. Whispers about whether Charles was truly his biological dad. The irony wasn't lost on him. Now, suddenly, he was facing the same kind of uncertainty. Only this time, he was on the other side of it. And that's when the second twist hit. Because according to insiders, Harry didn't stop at one test. He ordered another. A private one. Not through mails. Through specialists. Quietly. Carefully. No leaks. No paper trails. And for nearly 2 weeks, Meghan reportedly knew. Harry didn't. At least not fully. That waiting period changed everything inside their home. Conversations became colder. Meals quieter. The distance between them harder to hide. Even public appearances felt different. People noticed. The body language. The pauses. The tension. But nobody knew why. Not yet. Then the private results came in. And this is the moment those close to Harry say broke him. He locked himself in a room for hours. No calls. No texts. Nothing. When he finally emerged, he looked like someone who had just watched his world collapse in slow motion. Because if the reports are true, the test didn't confirm what he feared. It suggested something even worse. Not certainty. Uncertainty. Enough to fracture trust. Not enough to close the case. That distinction matters. But emotionally, it hit the same. Hard. And Meghan. She reportedly pushed back. Strongly. Demanded a full legal test. Accused Harry of letting paranoia take over. But Harry's pain wasn't just about biology anymore. It was about why there was doubt at all. Why the timelines felt blurry. Why certain questions had never been asked. And suddenly, old wounds inside their marriage began resurfacing. Things buried. Things ignored. Things forgiven too quickly. That's the thing about one crack. It rarely stays alone. And then came the fallout. Rumors spread fast. Friends took sides. Royal watchers exploded with speculation. Some called it nonsense. Others said it explained months of visible strain. But inside the palace, silence. Absolute silence. No statements. No denials. No confirmations. And that silence only made the story louder. Because in the world Harry was born into, silence often speaks the most. Now here's the uncomfortable part. Even if every rumor is false, even if every test was misunderstood, the damage may already be done. Because trust, once questioned, never returns the same. And for Harry, a man whose life has been shaped by secrets, betrayal, and unanswered questions, this may be less about science, and more about history repeating itself. The real question now isn't what the test said. It's what Harry believes. Because sometimes, belief changes everything long before truth ever arrives. And if that's the case, what happens to a family when doubt becomes louder than love?